Would nurturing emotional intelligence dramatically improve your closest relationships? And what if your faith provides the greatest guide to mastering it? Emotional intelligence shapes how we relate, heal, and love. Combine that with biblical wisdom and relationships thrive. Today, we explore how faith and emotional insight empower connection, empathy, and lasting confidence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and regulate your own emotions and empathize with others' feelings. Psychological research shows high emotional intelligence correlates with healthier, more satisfying relationships. From a spiritual perspective, God created emotions as gifts, not flaws. Scripture affirms this. Ephesians chapter 4 verses 2 to 3 teaches patience, humility, and love in relationships. Self-awareness begins with honest reflection. Proverbs chapter 17 verse 27 says, "A man of understanding is even-tempered." For example, during conflict, pause and ask God, "What am I really feeling?" Noting things down helps track emotional triggers and spiritual growth. Emotional self-control reflects maturity and faith. Galatians chapter 5 verses 22 to 23 speaks of the fruit of the Spirit, including self-control. Practice breath prayer or pause for a few seconds before responding in frustration. This helps break defense cycles and strengthen peace in relationships. Empathy is really about feeling with others, not just trying to solve things for them. Romans chapter 12 verse 15 calls us to mourn with those who mourn and rejoice with those who rejoice. In modern psychology, this is sometimes called empathic accuracy. When you truly understand someone's emotional state, it leads to stronger support and trust. Motivation that comes from love goes way beyond self-interest. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 describes a kind of love that keeps no record of wrongs and always perseveres. When our behavior is guided by purpose and spiritual conviction, it leads to lasting emotional health and real resilience in our relationships. Listening is more than just being quiet. It actually communicates respect, care, and real presence. James chapter 1 verse 19 encourages us to be quick to listen and slow to speak. For example, instead of jumping in with a response, try reflecting back what you've heard and ask clarifying questions. That kind of approach builds trust and helps avoid misunderstandings. Relationships really thrive in safety, not in silence. Psychology calls this emotional safety. It's basically the ability to be vulnerable without fearing rejection. Ephesians chapter 4 verses 29 to 32 urges us to use tender speech, to forgive, and to seek unity. So, for example, just speak the truth respectfully and cleanly, and you'll help maintain emotional trust. Conflict, when approached in humility, actually creates growth. Christ's model of humility and truth is what unites relationships. Matthew 18 verse 15 encourages gentle reconciliation, and forgiveness is what builds emotional intelligence and spiritual maturity. In practice, it's important to pray first, approach in love, listen deeply, and then follow biblical steps toward restoration. Emotional intelligence isn't just some secular tool, it's actually deeply biblical. Faith equips us to understand our emotions, to guide them with grace, and to love others with less reactivity and more integrity. Together, these things transform relationships into safe spaces of truth, compassion, and spiritual growth. So let's begin with one key principle. Start a daily reflection, just jotting down your feelings and where you sense God's presence. Try practicing some breathing or breath prayer before you react. Listen without trying to fix things and ask just one clarifying question in your next conversation. And commit to a verse like Romans 12:15 or Proverbs 17:27 and apply it this week. As your faith grows, your emotional intelligence, your relationships will become more resilient, loving, and authentic. If this video stirred your heart, please like and comment one way you plan to grow in EQ and share it with someone who would benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more Bible-grounded content on faith, psychology, and purposeful living.